Hi guys, so in today's video we're going to talk a little bit about strokes. Now Vienna, I suspect, has had at least one. If you see the way she's moving, she's very slow. She's very thoughtful before she makes an action. It's almost like her world is slowed down. I mean, any other rat would obviously have ran out of here long ago. So strokes can do a varying degree of damage, a bit like people. You know, people can have mild strokes and they can have more severe strokes. Rats are the same. I would say the one that she's had is probably a bit in the middle. As you can see, she still has function, she's still moving around, she still eats. I've actually got some scrambled egg I made here. I was going to feed her some scrambled egg. She obviously can still eat, she can still drink, but she's very, very slow. So basically what I'm going to talk a bit about is what I'm doing to support her. So this is going to include giving her meals on her own so that she's got the time she needs to actually eat without competing against others. Because as much as they all love living together, the rats will have no compassion when it comes to stealing food off of her, and she's obviously unable to, you know, fend them off and actually defend her food. So that is one of the things you should consider with a rat that's had a stroke, is giving them extra feeds on their own so that they can get the nutrients they need. You might also need to, you don't want to move to a completely soft diet, but you might need to give them a bit more soft food. So I'm going to give her things like egg, basically like as if she was a nursing mum. I'm going to give her high protein food. So she's going to get scrambled eggs, you know, dog meat, just things that I'm going to give to the kittens anyway. You know, my other kittens that I have, I'm going to let her have some as well. And just give her the time on her own in this hamster cage so that she can eat basically whatever she wants at her own pace. The next thing you want to consider is your cage layout. Now obviously her balance isn't there anymore. I have seen her take a small tumble in the cage already. Now thankfully she has learned herself that she's better off staying down the bottom of the cage. So I'm actually going to leave her in her main cage with her cage mates. She's got everything she needs down the bottom of the cage. She has a house that she likes to sleep in. She has access to water, which I've moved very, very low. I've also added an extra bottle so she's got options so that she can reach it. However, if you do have a rat that is insisting on climbing and therefore a danger to injuring themselves, I would recommend that you move them into a low level cage. With a friend, of course. Please don't make them live alone. Give them a friend. You could even cycle the friend that they're with so that they're not alone. So they basically just need a little bit more care at this stage. Off the top of my head, Vienna's just coming up for 2. So I mean, she's not, you know, she's not a young girl by any stretch of the imagination. But, oh, sorry girl. But she should still have, you know, plenty of time left, hopefully, with me. The other thing to consider with strokes is that if they've had one, it's highly likely that they'll have another one at some point. Now obviously if Vienna gets to the stage where she's unable to sort of eat for herself and things like that, that is a quality of life issue. And that's something you have to be very aware of with strokes. You have to be very aware of the quality of life. As you can see, she's not actually picking up her food and holding it like she would normally do. She is still eating it and she's kind of putting her paw on it, but she's more just holding it in place on the ground and she's not actually gripping it and eating it like a normal rat would. So at the moment she is still, you know, she's still managing. I still think she has quality of life just now, but it's certainly something that I'll keep a good eye on. And if it does get to the stage where she has another one and she doesn't, you know, if her actions change, if she's no longer able to even do this, then please, if that's your rat, please make the call at that time to end her suffering, because that is no quality of life if she gets to that stage. So I don't really know what else to say in this video, to be honest. I don't really know where I was going with it exactly, and I know you've just kind of sat here watching her eat this whole time and just listen to me rabble on. I'm not an expert obviously in talking about, you know, strokes with rats. I have in the past, like a very long time ago, dealt with it with rescue rats. but it's been a very, very long time since I've had one that I've owned dealing with a stroke. So that's just a few things really you can look out for. There's no way to prevent it. If you notice it straight away, you can try some steroids to lessen the damage. In terms of what I noticed with Vienna, I just noticed that she was off, and that's all I could describe to you. Obviously, like, as her owner, I know when she's not herself, and I just knew that she wasn't right, but I couldn't work out, you know, what exactly wasn't right about her there. That was the problem. So she didn't get to the vet straight away because, you know, if I didn't know what was wrong with her, the vets would probably be the same, just going, well, I don't know what's wrong with her either. But that's not to say that steroids would have made any difference to her anyway. So at the moment, we're just going to monitor the quality of life. You can see how slow she's walking there. She's not even really trying to escape at all. So yes, we're basically just looking at keeping her quality of life high, giving her help that she needs. But when I say giving her help, that is a fine line between helping her to live an okay life. As you saw there, she started to fall over a little bit when she was cleaning. There's helping her to a degree, and then there's, you know, if you're having to do everything for her, that's not quality of life. You know, I mean, if I wasn't here to hold her that second, you know, she still would have groomed, she would have got herself up again. She's still got quality of life just now. But it's going to be something that I'm going to monitor closely. I'm going to stop this video here. I think I'm just waffling on at this point. I'll try and do an update on her in the future, but being realistic, as I've said, if she ends up having another stroke, you know, it's probably not a great outcome, if you know what I mean. So we'll cherish what time we have together. Your eggs there, baby. We'll cherish the time that we do have together, and I'll make any judgments based on her best interests at the time. If you've got any questions, please pop them down below. I will try my best to answer them for you if I can. Thanks for watching.